Have you ever been faced with this problem where you just don't seem to get the topic in math? So you go on YouTube, you go on Khan Academy, and search for the topic that you guys are discussing. You look for videos, and the videos that are supposed to make it clearer make everything seem blurrier. You go through your notes and look for the topic. Then you realize that you don't have those notes. So you ask your classmate who always copies everything to send you their notes. Then you vent out your problems in social media. If you have faced any one of these problems, then this video is for you.
Hello everyone, I'm Katrina Garcia, and today we will tackle multiplication of radicals. So, how do you multiply radicals? Well, there are two ways to multiply radicals. The first way is using radicals, and the second way is using exponents. So let's start off with radicals. So the principle that we must remember is a x root of b times c x root of d is equal to ac x root of bd. That means that the terms outside of the radical will be multiplied with each other, and the terms inside the radical will be multiplied with each other. So let's start off with a simple example. Square root of 2 times square root of 4. Now, we must remember another principle, that square root of a times b is equal to square root of a times square root of b. So we can put square root of 2 times square root of 4 into square root of 2 times 4. 2 times 4 is equal to 8. So it is equal to square root of 8. Now we must simplify. So to simplify, we must think of a perfect square that when we times to a number will be equal to 8 in this case, which in this case it is 4. So 4 times 2 is equal to 8, and 4 is a perfect square. The square root of 4 is equal to 2, which means that the answer is 2 square root of 2. But there's an easier way to solve this equation. We have to think that the square root of 4 is equal to 2. So it is basically square root of 2 times 2, which is 2 square root of 2. Now let's move on to a harder example. 2 cube root of 2a to the 4th power times 3 cube root of 4a to the 2nd power. Now the first thing we must do is separate the terms. Remember that 2 and 3 are separate from their radicals. So it will be equal to 2 times 3 times cube root of 2 times 4 times a to the 4th power times a to the 2nd power. Now we have to multiply all the terms. So 2 times 3 is equal to 6, 2 times 4 is equal to 8, and a to the 4th power times a to the 2nd power is equal to a to the 6th power because of the law of indices. Now we'll be left with 6 to the cube root of 8a to the 6th power. Now we'll separate the terms again. 6 times cube root of 8 times cube root of 8 to the 6th power. Cube root of 8 is equal to 2, and the cube root of a to the 6th power is equal to the cube root of a to the 3rd power times a to the 3rd power is equal to a squared. Now if we combine all those terms, we will get 6 times 2 times a squared, which is equal to 12a squared. Now let's multiply radicals using exponents. But before that, we must remember this. M root of a to the n power is equal to a to the n over m power. Let's do an example. 2 square root of 2 times 3 square root of 8. Now let's separate the terms. 2 times 3 times 2 to the 1/2 power times a to the 1/2 power. Now we must remember this principle. A to the power of x times b to the power of x is equal to the quantity of a times b to the power of x. So this will be equal to 2 times 3, 6, times the quantity of 2 times 8 to the power of 1/2. 2 times 8 is equal to 16, so we will be left with 6 times 16 to the power of 1/2. 16 is equal to 4 squared, so we can say 6 times 4 to the power of 2 times 1/2. 2 times 1/2 is equal to 2 over 2, which means we will be left with 6 times 4, which is equal to 24. Now let's apply what we have learned on this example. Square root of 5 minus square root of 3 times square root of 5 plus square root of 3. We must use the FOIL method, which means first, outer, inner, and last. So, square root of 5 times square root of 5 is equal to square root of 25. Square root of 5 times square root of 3 is equal to square root of 15. Negative square root of 3 times square root of 5 is equal to negative square root of 15. Negative square root of 3 times square root of 3 is equal to negative square root of 9. Square root of 15 minus square root of 15 is equal to 0, which means we are left with square root of 25 minus square root of 9. Now we know that square root of 25 is equal to 5 and square root of 9 is equal to 3, which means we are left with 5 minus 3, which is equal to 2. And there you go, we have learned how to multiply radicals using radicals and exponents. I'm Katrina E. Garcia. I hope you guys learned a lot. Thank you!